All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning, and as always, thanks for listening in. This is the All You Need to Know podcast on Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 24th of June. Here's everything that you need to know. At the rate at which the coronavirus pandemic is still spreading in India, the number of cases will likely hit 4.5 lakh today. The country added 15,000 new COVID-19 cases in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. yesterday, taking the tally to 4.4 lakh. In the US, Anthony Fauci, who is the government's top infectious disease expert, told Congress that he was seeing a disturbing surge in new cases. Newly diagnosed cases of COVID-19 and other indicators of the pandemic's spread jumped in hotspots across the US, driving city and state officials to consider slowing or reversing reopening plans. Back home, just hours after a widely publicized launch of its claimed Ayurvedic treatment for the novel coronavirus, Baba Ramdev's Patanjali Ayurved was told by the government to stop advertising or publicizing any such claim due to the lack of requisite approval. The legal provisions cited in the ministry statement also indicate that Patanjali cannot sell the product as of now. According to a statement by the ministry that governs Ayurvedic medicines, the facts and claims made by Patanjali of the efficacy of its virus medicine, branded Coronil, were not known to the Ministry of Ayush. It asked Patanjali to stop advertising and publicizing claims till the issue is examined. In an interesting development, the fundraising environment for state government bonds has turned sharply in a matter of just a few months. While the first auction for state development bonds in April this year had seen rates surge due to an expected spike in borrowings, recent auctions have seen interest costs plummet. One stark example of this was in yesterday's auction, where Maharashtra raised 3-year bonds at near record lows for state government debt. It raised 1,500 crore rupees at 4.76%. Look up that full story on the website bloombergquint.com. The government plans to set up an online building permission system by March next year for all 4,400 cities to improve ease of doing business. The central government is in talks with the urban development departments of all states for speedy implementation of the online building permission, according to Durga Shankar Mishra, who is the Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. In corporate news, Mukesh Ambani has laid out a growth plan for his digital business days after raising over $15 billion in a fundraising blitz by selling stake in his digital and telecom unit and by issuing new shares. In a letter to shareholders yesterday, he said Jio Platforms, the holding unit of Reliance's telecom and digital assets, will use its partnership with Facebook to digitally enable and empower 60 million MSMEs, 120 million farmers, 30 million small merchants, and millions of SMEs in the informal sector. In international news, the Trump administration is discussing another stimulus package with lawmakers that could be passed in July, the latest effort to revive the U.S. economy amid the coronavirus pandemic, according to Steven Mnuchin. The U.S. Treasury Secretary said yesterday in an interview during the Bloomberg Invest Global virtual event that he expects the American economy to exit recession by the end of the year. In international markets, U.S. stocks continued to rise, led by tech stocks. The tech-heavy Nasdaq ended higher by 0.75%, and all three early rises in the Asia-Pacific region have started in the green. With that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Agam. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. Well, it's a muted start for the SGX Nifty futures, which is currently trending marginally in the red, which means we could very well see a quiet start for Indian markets here as well. And moving back to some earnings, we have paints major Asian Paints, which has reported a 7% decline in its sales for the fourth quarter, and its net profit is down about 2% year on year at 462 crores. Its margins, however, have remained steady and in fact expanded year on year, coming in at 18.5% versus 17.8%. Its peer, Berger Paints, has also reported a sales decline of 8% year on year and a net profit decline of 6.4%. And the earnings aren't very different from what we've seen for Asian Paints. From the public sector space, we have Bank of Baroda, where its net interest income rose 40% year on year, standing at a little less than 6,800 crores. It also reported a net profit of 506 crores versus a net loss of 991 crores in the year gone by. Of course, we have also seen provisions rise at 6,844 crores versus 5,400 crores. Now, we also have two very large secondary placements today. Right at the top, we have Metropoliz Healthcare, where the promoter group is looking to sell 4.6% stake in the company at a floor price of 1,300 rupees per share to around 304 crores, which aggregates to. Moving on, we have two secondary placements offered today. Right at the top, we have Metropoliz Healthcare, where it's the promoter group which is looking to sell 4.6% stake at 1,300 rupees per share, and this aggregates to 304 rupees. Now, the floor price is at a 10.5% discount to yesterday's closing price, and after this placement, the promoter stake will fall to 52.3% versus 56.9% as it stands currently. The next secondary placement is Blackstone Group selling 7.2% stake in Embassy Office Parks REIT, aggregating to a little over 1,900 crore rupees. The company will sell in the range of 340 to 350 rupees per share, which comes in at a discount of 3.5 to 6.5% from yesterday's closing price. After the secondary placement, Blackstone Sponsor Group equity will fall to 48% from 55% in Embassy Office Parks REIT. Now, Adani Group has entered into an agreement to acquire 49% stake in Odisha Power Generation from AES Group for $135 million. The balance 51% stake will remain with Odisha government. Odisha Power Generation operates about 1740 megawatts thermal plant. Balrampur Chini Mills has approved a buyback of 4.5% equity at 180 rupees per share, aggregating to 180 crores. July 3rd is the record date for the buyback, and the buyback is at a 33% premium to yesterday's closing price of Balrampur Chini Mills. Piramal Enterprises Board has approved issuance of NCDs worth 2,600 crore rupees. And finally, we have Tinplate, Nalco, Tata Steel and JSW Steel in focus, where we understand the government has imposed an anti-dumping duty on the import of flat-rolled products of steel, plated or coated with alloy, aluminium and zinc exported from China, Vietnam and Korea. Now, these are just some of the stocks we can watch out for as we move into trade today, but don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Pesa Vesa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.